we are live. Am I visible, people? Is everything fine? Am I audible? Is everything all right for you? Please tell me if everything is visible. If not, yeah, I think I got a confirmation. Yes. Hello, people. Welcome back to the exam day marathon. In this marathon, we will be just discussing all the formulas from all the chapters from your quantitative aptitude, and we will be facing the exam today, right? I hope that everyone is well prepared for the examination. I hope that everyone have studied minimum for 70 marks so that you can prepare, so you can write the exam well, and you should aim to write 70 marks minimum. Hi Nikhil, hi Sahana, hi Nirmal, hello Harini, hello Rakesh, hello everyone, Santosh, then Divya, Lokesh, good morning. People, don't panic. Today is the day. We are going to crack this exam. It is going to happen no matter what. Okay, people, can we start off? Yes, AP, Vijayawada. Okay, great. Good to know that. Can we start off now? Starting off with our first chapter. Yes. Yeah, everything is working. So, first of all, people, what is ratio? Ratio is nothing but, for example, A and B are in ratios, means we will write it as what? A is to B. Then, what is inverse of a ratio? Inverse of a ratio can be written as A is to B's inverse is what? B is to A. Now, people, if there is a ratio called as A is to B is to C, then what is the inverse of that ratio? It's very easy. We can write it as what? BC is to AC is to then AB. So that is the way of writing. Hello. How long, sir? We will finish everything in more than just 30 to 40 minutes. It will get over. Okay. So it's all about just reminding you the formulas. That's the entire thing. If you study the formula in a different way, study it in your own way. But if you remember or studied in my way, this formula book will help you, and this revision will help you out a lot. Okay. Now, duplicate of a ratio. For example, people, a ratio is called as A is to B, then duplicate of a ratio is nothing but what? A square is to B square. Then triplicate is what? Triplicate is nothing but A cube is to B cube. Then comes the next term. What is the next term? Subduplicate. Subduplicate means what? Subduplicate of a ratio A is to B is nothing but root A is to root B. For example, I take you a ratio called as 4 is to 36. What is the subduplicate of 4 is to 36? Root 4 is to root 36. Just use calculator, people. Then subtriplicate is nothing but cube root of A is to cube root of B. Now, compound ratio, people. There are two ratios, A is to B, and there is another ratio, C is to D. Then, what is the compound ratio of A is to B and C is to D? It's very easy. Product of A and C divided by product of B and D, or we can write it as A into C. AC is to BD. Okay, good morning. Then, sir, may revision live session will be conducted. Yes, Tanuja, it will be there. How long will it will finish in 40 minutes maximum. Now, continued ratio. What do you mean by continued ratio? If A is to B is there and B is to C is there. For example, 1 is to 2 is there and 3 is to 4 is there. Then what is A is to B is to C? We can write it like this. Mirror in 1 into 3 is 2. Then 3 into 2 is 2, then 4 into or 2 into 4. So answer will be what? 3 is to 6 is to 8. Likewise, you can write it, people. Then coming to proportion. Proportion is nothing but what? It is an equality of two ratios. So A by B can be written as C by D. A is called the first proportional, B is called the second proportional, C is called the third proportional, and D is called as the fourth proportional. If in case it is like this, A by B is equal to B by C, then B square is equal to what? AC, where B is called as the mean proportional. That is also important. Next question, people. Yeah, that is mentioned on there. Then we can say that whenever there are two ratios, A is to B is proportional to C is to D, we can say that product of the mean. What do you mean by that? A by B is equal to C by D, right? What are the means? The middle terms, that is B and C. What are the extreme terms, that are A and D? We can Always take the product of the extremes. What is product of the extreme? A into D is equal to product of the mean B into C. That also you can write, people. Yeah, is it enough to pass? This one is just the formula revision. With this alone you will not pass. You need to solve questions and all. Yes. But if you have solved questions, it is more than enough. Okay. Yes. At least with PYQs, more than enough. With PYQs, it is more than enough. Always 30 to 35 minutes. Yes, it will be more than enough. I'll be solving all the homeworks. Yes. Now, basic proportion of basic properties of proportions. We will write it as one is the product of extreme is equal to product of the means. Then invertendo. Very important, people. There can be a question. What do you mean by invertendo? For example, A by B is equal to C by D. What do you mean by inverting? We are taking the inverse. Then, which implies B by A also equal to what? The D by C. They can ask a question like this. If A by B is equal to C by D, then B by A is equal to D by C is what type of a property? It is called as what? Invertendo. Then coming to next property, that is alternando. Alternando is nothing but altering the mean elements. For example, A by B is equal to C by D. Then people, we can also write it like this. A by C is equal to B by D. That means we are altering the diagonal elements. B is going to the other side and C is coming to the denominator of the left side. That is called as alternando, people. There can be a question. Then componendo. Componendo is very easy. We will add the numerator values. For example, A by B is equal to C by D. Then A plus B, that means numerator plus denominator divided by B is equal to C plus D by D. That is called as componendo. Then dividendo is there, the ulta. It will be negative sign. So that then yes, it is mentioned over there. A minus B is A minus B divided by B, which is equal to C minus D divided by D. Sir, I am a little worried about the exam. Don't worry too much, da. Right now you have how many hours left, da? Now just 4 hours is left for our examination. Don't worry too much. Don't think too much about the examination. Whatever you know will be there for the examination. Prepare and be confident in your preparation and go for the exam. It will happen. We can clear the exam. That is possible. Then componendo and dividendo. That is nothing but we are combining both the properties. A plus B divided by A minus B is equal to C plus D divided by C minus D. Then addendo property is nothing but we will add all the numerator elements and it will be divided by all the denominator elements, which is equal to A by B, which is equal to C by D, which is equal to E by F. Similarly for subtractando. Okay, then next one, the indices. Basic properties of indices. We will know that A square into A raised to 5 is how much, da? That is nothing but A raised to 2 plus 5, which is nothing but A raised to 7. People, A raised to M into A raised to N is how much, da? A raised to M plus N. That is the basic property. Then A raised to M divided by, I'll keep it in another way, A raised to 6 divided by A raised to 4. That is nothing but A raised to 6 minus 4, which is nothing but what? A square. People, then power of the power. What happens to power of the power, da? A raised to M. The whole raised to N is nothing but what, da? A raised to M into N. Then power of a product. What do you mean by that? For example, 2 into 4, the whole power 6 is there. I can always write it like what, da? 2 power 6 into 4 power 6. That is written over here. Then people, power of a quotient. That means I can split the quotient and write. For example, 6 divided by 7, the whole power 2 can be written as 6 square divided by 7 square. Then any number, power is 0. If any number raised to 0, 1000 raised to 0 is what? 1. 1 lakh raised to 0 is what? 1. Whatever number raised to 1 is 0. Raised to 0 is 1. Then minus M. Anyway, everyone knows this property from very young age onwards. So according to you, how many questions are easy? So usually there will be 60 easy questions and 40 moderate to difficult question. I will not say difficult question. Usually difficult questions will be like 1 or 2 difficult questions will be there. Then 40 questions, including the difficult questions, 40 will be moderate to difficult questions. Okay, are you getting the logic? Then 60 will be easy. If you have covered all the chapters, you will get that 60 easy questions no matter what. Okay. Sir, can we have this notes? Yes, I will attach it Already it was attached in yesterday's video, so you can download it from there also. After this, I'll attach it in this video also. Then people, coming to the most important, some of the basic properties we have learned long back. A plus b the whole square is what? A square plus this, and all we know from very basic. Now, some of the properties of logarithm. Yes, this one is very important. People, if 10 is equal to or 20 is equal to, or I will write it as log of x to the base 4 is equal to 5. Get me the value of x. People, how will you find the value of x? X is nothing but the base raised to right hand side. What is on the right hand side? 5 is there on the right hand side. Are you getting the logic? Log of, then you tell me, log of n to the base 20 is equal to 4. Find the value of n. N is nothing but this base raised to whatever value is on the other side, 20 raised to 4. There are multiple questions based on this, people. Now people, next question is some of the properties of logarithm. Log of a plus log of b plus log of c is how much? Log of a plus log of b plus log of c is plus etc is how much? Log of a into b into c into etc based on number of terms are there. Okay, that is the first property or the product rule. Then there is quotient rule. Quotient rule is nothing but log of a minus or log of x minus log of y is what? Log of x divided by y. So calculated tips, sir, we will do that question towards the end. I'll solve calculated trick also. Negative marking, yes, negative marking is there. Sir, I am in first group student and got one cutoff in the 12th. I want to study, therefore I choose CA. But before that, today I don't worry much about it, Jaya. You write the exam, it will be fine. Yes. Next one, simple equations. We are going for that. Now in these are some of the properties of logarithm. Log of 1 is what? Log of 1 is what? 0. Log of 1 to any base is what? For example, it is base is 20. Answer will be what? 0. Then people, what is log of x to the base 4? It can be written as 4 into log x. Then what if it is like this, people? Log of x to the base root 2. How can you write this? You can write it like this. Log of x to the base 2 raised to 1 by 2. That means, or you can write it like this. Without root 2, I will ask you another question. Let it be like 2 square. That means this can be written in which way? It can be written as 1 divided by 2 into log of x. So always remember this type of tricks. It will help you out. Then coming to simple equations. We know the formula for finding roots of a quadratic equation, right? What is the root of quadratic equation? Minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac. The entire thing divided by 2a. We are studying it from very young age, correct? What is b? B is nothing but coefficient of x. What is a? That is nothing but coefficient of x square. And what is c? That is the constant term. Now people, sum of the root is nothing but what? Sum of the root, alpha plus beta. If alpha and beta are the roots of the quadratic equation, then sum of the root alpha plus beta is nothing but minus b by a, or I will write it as minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Remember this, people, very important. Then what is product of the root? Product of the root is nothing but, I will write it over here, product is nothing but, that is alpha beta, which is equal to what? Constant term divided by coefficient of x. Then in general, we can always create a quadratic equation using this formula, x square minus sum of the root into x plus product of the root. That is very important. This formula is very important. Then coming to this, people, when are the roots real and equal? Whenever b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the roots are real and equal. When are we using this? Sometimes they will give the equation like this, x square plus 2k plus 10 is equal to 0. Randomly I am giving. Okay, then they will ask you, find the value of k if the roots are real and equal. We will take what? B square minus 4ac equal to 0. B square is how much? Sorry, 2kx. Okay, b square is how much? 2k the whole square minus 4 into A is how much? 1 into 10, which is equal to how much? The 0. Using this formula, we will find the value of K. That is important over there. Then if it is B square minus 4AC is greater than 0 and a perfect square, then it is real, distinct and rational. Oh, so when it is imaginary, when B square minus 4AC is less than 0, that means when B square minus 4AC is negative, we can say that the roots are imaginary. It was there in May attempt. So people, next one, so how many questions are easy to moderate? 60 might be easy and 40 will be moderate to difficult. Okay, da? Yes. Next two. Okay, people, in one of the question they are telling that one root of the quadratic equation is 2 plus root 3. Then other root will be what? Automatically it will be 2 minus root 3. Remember that. So if one root is p plus root q, the other root is nothing but p minus root q. If one root is reciprocal of the other, then what happens now? If one root is reciprocal of the other, alpha, beta, that means the product of the root will be always be equal to 1. Why? Because if one root is alpha, the other root is reciprocal of the previous root means 1 by alpha. The product will be what? Anyway equal to 1, right? Remember that there is a high chance for this type of question. Then cubic equations, we are coming before that. If two roots are in the ratio alpha and beta, we can write this way. So for example, I am writing two roots are in the ratio m is to n. Then I can write m into n, b square is equal to m plus n the whole square AC. Remember it this way. Okay, m into n b square is equal to m plus n the whole square into AC. People, one more thing, coming to the cubic equation, all the atom in the previous time, all the atom there was one question based on cubic equation. You can expect a similar question today also, people. So cubic equation will be given like this: ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Some value will be given for cubic equation in your exam paper. Then how to find the answer is the question. People, you know how to find the sum of the roots of cubic equation? That is nothing but minus coefficient of x square, that is what? The minus of b divided by coefficient of x cube. So minus b by a is what? The sum of roots. Then product is what? The product is nothing but minus of constant term, what is over here? D divided by coefficient of x cube, that is a. People, very important. So after doing this, what are you going to do? You will option hit and check. You will take the sum of the options. Sum of the options in the sense, three values will be there in one option. You will add all those values and check whether you are getting sum of the root. Then you will take product of all three values and check whether you are getting sum of the product of the root. Then if you are satisfying both the condition, that option will be your answer, people. This is a sure short one. Okay, be ready for it. Next question, people, coming to inequalities. Yes sir, if I start today, no, Mahavishnu, depends on it. Now what are you going to start? How many chapters have you studied, Mahavishnu? Based on that I can recommend what to study. Okay, then definition of inequality. So what is inequality when it is not equal? If it is less than or greater than or less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and all are coming into the picture, then it is nothing called as inequality. People, I told you always, let it be x plus y greater than 10. How will the graph look like that? Automatically, if the sign of x and y are same, always the graph will be like this. Okay, I am just randomly taking x plus y is equal to 10. Put x is equal to 0. That means y will be equal to how much now? 10. So 0 comma 10 will be there. 0 comma 10. If y is equal to 0, then x will be what? 10 comma 0. So automatically, if the sign of x and y are same, it will be a graph like from upper left to lower right. Now people, if it is like x minus y greater than 10, okay, how will the graph look like? If the signs are different, the graph will be from lower left to upper right. Remember this, easily you can solve a graph. Next one. From here, most important part is that one. Yes. Now here, whenever there is a time related constraint, for example, they are telling, oh, you need to finish the work in this much time, always you should take less than or equal to, because we can't give you more time. Then for your exam itself, how much time is there? The maximum of 2 hours. That means less than or equal to 2 hours you should finish the exam, not more than that. People, work related constraint, it should always be greater than or equal to. How you say that? During the time of exam, how much work you should put? You should put maximum work. That means you can always put greater than or equal to sign for work related constraint. Yes. Next one, which part I should attend first? You can attend your favorite part first. Okay, whichever is favorite, LR, Max, or whatever chapter is your favorite, start off with that. Coming to chapter number 4, people. Coming to chapter number 4, amount is nothing but what? A is equal to P plus I. In case of simple interest, amount will become what? A is equal to P plus SI, or I can write it as A is equal to P into 1 plus TR percentage. What is the formula for SI? SI is nothing but PTR percentage. Till here everyone is fine now. Then next one, coming to different in this one and all are taken from our same formula. It can be written as, if the rate percentage and time are different for different cases, that is P1 PT2 PT1 R1 percentage plus PT2 R2 percentage plus etc. What if the principal value is also different for different time period and rate percentage? You can write it as P1 T1 R1 percentage plus P2 T2 R2 percentage plus etc. goes on forever till how many are there. Now people, the next one is coming to our compound interest formula. So people, what is the amount formula for compound interest? A is equal to P into 1 plus I the whole power n. People, using calculator, how will you find the answer for amount? Take your calculator. If principal amount is 1000, type 1000 on your calculator. Then plus, if the rate percentage is 10%, plus 10%, plus 10%, till how many years the 10% is there, you can just find it using calculator, the amount value using calculator. Next one, what is the formula for compound interest? CI is equal to P into 1 plus I the whole power n minus 1. People, this n and I can differ based on the compounding. For annual compounding, what happens? N will be nothing but the number of years, I will be nothing but the interest per annum. Then semi-annual or half-yearly compounding, what happens? N is nothing but 2 into number of years. For quarterly compounding, what happens? 4 into number of years. Then monthly compounding, 12 into number of years. The interest will be getting divided with, for half yearly divided by 2, for quarterly divided by 4, then monthly it will be divided by 12. If it is, for example, R is equal to 10%. For quarterly compounding, what happens? I will become 10 divided by 400. Then for monthly compounding, what will happen? I will become 10 divided by 1200. For half yearly compounding, what will happen? I will become 10 divided by 200. Likewise, you can write. Next one, difference between CI and SI. So difference between CI and SI can be written from the basic formula of compound interest difference and simple interest difference. That is nothing but P into 1 plus I the whole power n minus 1 minus TR percentage. Now people, next one, what if the difference of CI and SI for 2 years? Whenever it is coming to 2 years, we can use our shortcut formula. What is the shortcut formula? P into I square. Remember that. Then people, coming to effective rate of interest. One more thing people. So this is formula for CI, right? Now this is formula for what? 1 plus I the whole power n minus 1 is what? It is the formula for effective rate of interest. Have a look at it here people. Percentage effective rate of interest is nothing but 1 plus I the whole power n minus 1 into 100 if you want it in percentage. Next one people, depreciation. Depreciation is the opposite of compounding, or it's the opposite of appreciation. That means instead of plus sign, the scrap value will become what? P into 1 minus I the whole power n. The plus, instead of plus sign, what will be there? A minus sign will be there, and A is called as what? The future value or the scrap value. P is the present value or the cost price of the machine. Now coming to annuity people. Annuity, there are two types of annuity. Annuity regular and annuity due people. Annuity regular means what? When are we considering annuity regular? Whenever it is mentioned end of the year then nothing is mentioned in the question, like end of the period or end of the year or end of the month is not mentioned, or beginning of the year or beginning of the month, or from now, from today is not mentioned. You can automatically take what? The annuity regular. Annuity due or annuity immediate is also called as annuity immediate, right? So what is annuity due or annuity immediate? When are we considering it? Beginning of year. Beginning of year. Then from today or from now, from this morning, from today morning, everything will come under what? The annuity due or annuity immediate. Now we need to know about future value. Future value, we have two formulas. For future value of annuity regular, that is nothing but A by I into 1 plus I the whole power n minus 1. Then what is the future value of annuity due? With this particular value, you will multiply 1 plus I. Then people, you have a formula for present value. You can derive it from future value itself. PV is nothing but future value divided by 1 plus I the whole power n. So if you watch both one marathon, then you can score get. Yes, if the concepts are Pakka, you can easily get it. Yes. Now, will you do paper review? I will not do it today because I don't want to play with your confidence level and all. After economics exam, I'll do it. Okay. Now, next one. Application of annuity. First application is nothing but leasing. So leasing means what? If PV of present value of leasing is less than present value of purchasing, what is preferred? Leasing is preferred. If PV of leasing is greater than PV of purchasing, what is preferred? Purchasing is preferred. So basically, if you ask me, whichever PV is lesser, you will consider that. If PV is less, PV of leasing is less than purchasing, what you will do? You will lease it. If PV of purchasing is less than PV of leasing, you will purchase it. That is the basic thing. Then people, coming to net present value. Net present value is nothing but PV of cash inflow minus PV of cash outflow. Anyway, you know how to find present value, right? Present value formula also I'll give. You can write it down. PV is nothing but A by I into 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus I the whole power n. Okay, if it is, this is for annuity regular. If it is annuity due, how will you write it down? You will multiply it with 1 plus I, or you will write using GT method. How to use GT method? PV of annuity regular is nothing but annuity into our GT factor. How to find GT factor? Type 1 plus I on your calculator. 1 plus I in the sense, type 1.14 on your calculator. If the rate percentage is 14%, type 1.14 on your calculator. Then click divide sign, then equal to how many number of years are there. For example, 10 number of years are there, then you will click equal to how many times now? 10 times. Then click GT button on your calculator, then multiply it with the annuity value. You will get present value of annuity regular. If it is annuity due, what you will do? You will multiply this entire thing with what? 1 plus I. That's all, people. Then coming to the next one. Bond formula. Bond formula is very easy. If you ask me, this is nothing but our normal PV. You are finding PV using I. Oh, that is the return rate, whichever you want. Then A. A is nothing but coupon payment, which is called as par value into nominal rate. That is very important. That is the only factor which is little different here. Find A using par value into nominal rate. Then you can find PV using what? The present value you will find. Then you will click M plus on your calculator. Then par value divided by 1 plus I the whole power n. That will also be there in the question itself if they ask you for exam. So perpetuity. Perpetuity comes into the picture when it is forever. Whenever you see forever, it is going forever means the question is based on perpetuity. Perpetuity is nothing but A by I. For multi-period perpetuity, it is A by I, where I is what? I is nothing but the interest rate. Then there is something called as growing perpetuity, where you have another formula A divided by I minus G, where this A or R is called as what? The fixed payment or the receipt amount, where I is the interest rate and G is the growth rate. These things are important, people. Now coming to the last one. So people, I will just use this formula for any question based on CAGR. You can expect a question 1 plus CAGR the whole power Tn minus T0 is equal to what? Vn by V0. We will be option hitting. Whatever is there in the option, we will substitute over here. Accordingly, we will check where LHS and RHS are becoming equal. Wherever it is equal, that's your answer. That option is your answer. Yes. Sanjay, yes, GT method is done. Small example for perpetuity. Yes, small example for perpetuity is what? They are telling that you are investing 200 forever. What is the present value? If the interest rate is 10%, then 200 divided by 10% is your answer. That is PV of perpetuity. Now people, coming to permutation. Permutation is what? Basically remember this, arrangement of items, while combination is what? Selection of item. Very important part. Now people, in order to take we need to take we need to arrange R items from N items. How to do that? That is nothing but NPR is equal to N factorial divided by N minus R factorial. For example, 6P2. How to do that? 6P2 is nothing but 6 factorial divided by 6 minus 2, that is nothing but 4 factorial. But how will you write it as a shortcut? 6P2 is nothing but 6 into the previous number. Only two numbers are there since it is 2. What if it is 7P3? 7P3 is nothing but 7 into 6 into 5. You can just use calculator. People, then 8P4 is how much? 8 into what? 8 into 7 into 6 into 5. What if the question is 9P2? 9P2 is something but 9 into 8. Likewise, you can write, people. That is very important. Then we need to know about factorials. N factorial is what? That number into etc. 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 It goes on forever. 1 factorial is how much? 1. 2 factorial is how much? 2. Similarly, you need to remember the factorials, which is very important. Till 8 factorial, you should remember. 8 factorial is how much? 40320. Because after that, you can just use calculator. How will you find 9 factorial? 9 factorial is very easy to find. That is nothing but 8 factorial into 9. 10 factorial will be what? 10 factorial is nothing but 10 into 9 into 8 factorial. You already know the value of 8 factorial. That is nothing but 40320. Yashwant, you can check the example in our previous marathon for CAGR. Now, coming to the basic properties of permutation. NPN. That means 5PN can be written as 5 factorial. 5 factorial is how much now? 120. Then 0 selection. That means NP0 will be what? N5P0 will be what? 1. Remember that. That is very, very important. Now people, arrangement of letters. For example, you tell me one name. I'll take the name Yashwant. ARYASWANTH. Now you tell me how many words can be formed using the letters of the word Yashwant. And repetition. Oh, I'm not talking about repetition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 letters are there. So 8 factorial divided by, people, how many letters are repeated? A is repeated 2 times, right? Any other letter is repeated? No, only 2 letters are repeated. A is repeated 2 times. That means I can write it as divided by 2 factorial. What if the question is my name, Nithin? How many letters are there in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters are there in total. 6 factorial divided by N is repeated 2 times. That means 2 factorial into I is repeated 2 times divided by 2 factorial. So that you can write it that way, people. Then some question will be like this. I'll take you one example and I'll tell. One name Akshay is there. Akshay. Okay, Akshay is there. Now I am telling that find the number of arrangements in which the vowels will be together always. How many vowels are there? 2 vowels are here. 2 vowels are there means 2. Those vowels should be always be together. That means 2 factorial into 2 factorial into how many letters are there in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means N, so I will write it as, when 2 letters are together, we can always write it as 2 factorial into N minus 1 factorial. So answer will be what? 2 factorial into N is how much? 6. 6 minus 1 factorial. But people, here in Akshay's name, there are 2 A's. A is repeated 2 times, so that you need to divide it by 2 factorial. That means this will get cancelled. What is the answer? 5 factorial. So people, what if 3 numbers are repeated? three numbers are, or three digits or three letters are together, 3 factorial into n minus 2 factorial. What if 4 letters are together? 4 factorial into n minus 3 factorial. Are you getting the logic, people? Next one, yeah. For boys and girls occupying alternate positions, if they are equal in number, people, I am telling, 3 girls are there, 4 boys are there. Okay, 3 girls and 4 boys are there, and they are sitting in alternate position. What is the answer? 3 factorial into 4 factorial. Then, if boys are, what else? If no 2 boys are being together, no 2 boys are being together means we will consider girls first. That means number of girls factorial into girls plus 1 P number of boys. If 2 boys are together, if 2 girls are, no 2 girls are together means what? Boys factorial into boys plus 1 P girls. That is the formula, people. This can be used. Then, people, how many total number of ways to answer n questions? How many ways you can answer it? 2 raised to n way. Either you can answer it or not answer. For your examination, how many questions you are having? 100 questions are there. Okay, how many? Whether you can answer each question or not answer each question. How many ways you can do it? 100 ways you can do it. Now, if 4 options are there, okay, you can answer it in 4 ways. Then it will be like 4 raised to n will be your answer. Now, people, at least answer 1 out of n question. What is the formula? 2 raised to n minus 1. Remember this also. Next one, now circular permutation. Circular permutation will always be similar to linear permutation, but always a minus 1 will be there because we are avoiding the repetitiveness. Then, sir, you can, Nandini, you can just put the values in calculator and accordingly you can find it for that question. Akshaya, 3 A's are there, right? Yes, 3 factorial, we need to divide it. Yes, Akshaya, right? Kavya, yes, oh, it was Akshay. Okay, Akshaya, I thought it is Akshay. Then, sir, how to find PV and FV? Use the formula, Kadir. Yes, direct formulas. We already mentioned, you can just go back and watch it. Now, next one. Shortcut for 2 girls being together in a circular arrangement. No 2 girls being together means we should consider boys. So, boys minus 1 into boys minus 1. What? Factorial into boys P girls. Then, no 2 girls be, no 2 boys being together means what? Girls minus 1 factorial into girls P boys. Okay, remember this. Next one. Here, yeah. Number of ways of arranging are things taken out of n things such that one particular item is always included. For example, one item will always be included. Take the example of Shumban Gill. Gill is always included, right? Okay, then what is the case? R into n minus 1 P R minus 1. Okay, then one particular item is always excluded. What you will do, it is nothing but n minus 1 PR, Sanju Samsung, long back, n minus 1 PR, that will be the formula. Then combination, we know the formula, right? It is nothing but NPR divided by R factorial. For example, the question is like 7C2. How will you do this? 7 into 6 divided by 2 factorial is your answer. What if it is like 7C3? It will be like 7 into 6 into 5 divided by 3 factorial. What if it is like 11C4? The answer is what? 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 into little 8, right? Divided by 4 factorial. Substitute that values, you will directly go for the answer, people. Then NC0 is what? NC0 is 1. NC1 is equal to n. Then NCn is equal to 1. That means 5C5 is how much? 1. 5P5 was how much? 5 factorial. The ulta over here. Now, one more important property. 15C13 is how much? That is nothing but 15 minus 13, that is nothing but 15C12. So people, whenever you are getting a question like this, 7C6 can be written as 7C1. How you can write the 7C1? 7C7 minus 6 is how much? 1. So 7C5 can be written as 7C2. Okay, remember this. Next one, Pascal's identity, we have already discussed. Now, some of the important applications you need to remember. People, number of handshakes is how much? NC2. Remember this. Number of matches played by a team. For one time, against one time is what the NC2. The number of chords to a circle is what the, that is also NC2. One major important formula, number of diagonals in a polygon is what the NC2 minus N. Remember this, multiple questions were there in the previous year based on this. Then people, number of quadrilaterals or parallelograms formed by N parallel lines intersecting M parallel lines is what the NC2 into MC2. These are important formulas. Then number of triangles, that also you can keep a note. That is using n points where m are collinear. What do you mean by collinear? They are on the same line. How is it done? NC3 minus MC3. Remember this. Coming to the next one, arithmetic progression. AM or the nth term is nothing but A plus n minus 1 into D. Then sum of the sum is how much da? N by 2 into A plus an, or you can write it as n by 2 into what da? N by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Then people, coming to the next one, geometric mean, you know the nth term of geometric mean, AR raised to n minus 1. Then people, what is the sum of n terms of a geometric progression? If r is greater than 1, you can write it as a into r raised to n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. If it is like less than 1, you can write it as a into 1 minus r raised to n divided by 1 minus r. That way you can write it, people. Then people, what is remaining? The product of n terms of a geometric progression is nothing but middle term raised to n. Product of n terms of a GP is nothing but middle term raised to n. Then people, sum of infinite, very important, very important. Sum of infinite terms of a GP, that is very easy, a divided by 1 minus r. Keep a note of it. Then if there are infinite terms with combinations of AP and GP, and formula is what? A divided by 1 minus r plus dr divided by 1 minus r the whole square, where d is what? The common difference of the GP. R is what? The common ratio. Then a is what? The first term. Everything is there. Now coming to these properties and all, you know, right? Sum of first n natural number is what? N into n plus 1 divided by 2. If you remember sum of n natural numbers, you can easily remember sum of cubes of n natural number. Cubes of n natural number is nothing but n into n plus 1 divided by 2 the whole square. Remember these two things very easily. Then sum of squares of first n natural number is nothing but n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. Remember this, it will help you. Hi. Thank you. Yes. Next one. Set relation function. In set relation function, some basic formulas you should know. For two set, n of a union b is nothing but n of a, cardinal number of a plus cardinal number of b minus intersection value you should reduce. Then people, what is a null set? The null set is when there is no element inside the set, then it is called as a null set. Now my question, set A is equal to set of 1, 2, 3. Okay, let it be like that. Then phi is the null set. People, what is A intersection phi? That means A intersection null set is how much da? It will also always be null set itself. Then A union null set will be what da? Set A itself, because it is a null set. Next question, people. Now coming to, yes, this one we will anyway discuss in probability. That time I will talk about it. Then yes, number of subset, very important. The number of subset, what is the formula? 2 raised to n. There is a high chance of these questions coming for examination, direct questions, right? So what is the formula for number of subset? 2 raised to n. What is the formula for number of ways of answering the question? 2 raised to n. Remember that way. Then people, number of proper subset is nothing but 2 raised to n minus 1. Now the number of ways of answering at least one question is what? 2 raised to n minus the cardinal number of elements of a Cartesian product of set A and B, that is nothing but n of A into n of B. People, then the number of relation is how much? 2 raised to n of A into n of B. Okay, n of A and n of B are what? The number of elements inside set A and number of elements inside set B. Next one, reflexive. When is it called as a reflexive function? When A comma A is an element of the relation, then you can call it as what? It is a reflexive. Then if A comma B is there and B comma A is there, then it is called as what? The symmetric function. If transitive means what? If A comma B is there, then B comma C is there, then A comma C should be there, then only it is transitive. If it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, it is called as what? The equivalence relation. If it is reflexive, transitive and anti-symmetric or not symmetric, it is called as partial order relation, people. Then 1 to 1 and all, it's not much important, but there can be a question. Use our marathon for that. Now, inverse of a function. How to find inverse of a function? The first you will assume y is equal to f of x, then you will solve the value of x in terms of y. Then instead of x you will put what up? Instead of x you will put f inverse of x, and instead of y with what? The x, you will get the answer. Then hello, this it will get a finish in next 20 minutes now. So yes, hello. Thank you, Janice. Now people, you should remember one of the basic properties of limit. That is always important. One basic property is directly they can ask limit x tends to 4 x square plus 4x plus 2. What will you do in order to find the limit? You will randomly substitute the x value over there. That is nothing but 4 square plus 4 into 4 plus 2. You will get the answer. What if it is like this? Limit x tends to 4 x square plus 4x plus 2 divided by x minus 4. Then you can't directly put 4, because if you put 4 over here, it will become 4 minus 4. That will become 0 in the denominator. It will become undefined. In that case, what you will do, you will use L'Hopital rule. L'Hopital rule is what? You will take the derivative d by dx of x square plus 4x plus 2. Then you will take the d by dx of what? X minus 4. People, what is the derivative of numerator? It will become 2x plus 4 divided by 1. Now you apply the limit. Put x is equal to 4. Then it will become 4 into 2 is how much? 8. 8 plus 4 is how much? 12. Remember this. It is very important. All the best everyone. Do well. Yes, paper will be easy if you have prepared well. Yes, we have prepared well. Well and good. Great. Next one. Here, yes, some basic differentiation I'll do. D by dx of log x is how much? 1 by x. I'll take you through there. Okay, 1 by 1 I'll do it. So what is the first rule? D by dx of x raised to 5 is what? 5 into x raised to 5 minus 1. That is nothing but 4. That is written over here. D by dx of x raised to n is nothing but n into x raised to n minus 1, people. Then what is derivative of a raised to x? For example, d by dx of 5 raised to x can be written as 5 raised to x into log 5. Then what is the importance of derivative of e raised to x? The e raised to x derivative is nothing but e raised to x itself. Then people, what is the derivative of x raised to x? X raised to x into 1 plus log x. Then most important one, derivative of log x is what? 1 by x. Then derivative of root x is nothing but 1 by 2 root x. Then derivative of log x to the base a is what? 1 by x into log a. This is not much important. This one is more important. Now people, product rule you should know, right? Product rule is nothing but first function into, this is first function, this is second function. Then I'll write it as like this, d by dx of e raised to x into log x. How will you find it? So this is first function. So first function into d by dx of log x plus second function into what? D by dx of first function. Likewise you can write. Okay, then whenever it is a rational function, you can use these shortcuts and all down. Anyway, in marathon we have done that. You can refer this. Can we mark the right if the question paper, then mark in booklet? You can actually do that. I'll tell you some exam tips which you can follow whenever questions are there in a. So easiest way to save time is, you will have one side of a paper, right? There might be 4 or 5 questions in one side, right? So solve all the questions, all the 5 questions. Then once you're finding the answer, just mark it beside the option in your question paper itself. Once that paper is done, one side of the paper is done, take your OMR sheet and mark all the 5 questions or all the 4 questions together. That means you will not lose time of taking OMR sheet and taking it back during each question. So do that way. One side you do everything, then take your OMR and mark it. Likewise you can do it. Okay, then here the most important part I'm going to take the one is implicit function. Implicit function means x and y are on the same side. For example, x square y plus y x is equal to 0. How to find this derivative? You can take minus of differentiate with respect to x, treating y as a constant, divided by differentiating with respect to y, taking x as a constant. We have solved multiple questions in PYQs as well as in class. Now people, one prediction for today's class, today's exam is parametric differentiation. It will be there for your examination for sure. You know parametric differentiation, people. I'll just tell you with an example. If x is equal to 2t square, y is equal to t cube. Okay, then you need to find dy by dx. People, take the derivative of x with respect to t. Dx by dt is how much? 2 into, then derivative of t square is how much? 2t, which will become how much? 4t. So dx by dt is how much? 4t. Then similarly, what is dy by dt? Dy by dt is direct, that is 3t square. Now how to find dy by dx? Dy by dx is nothing but dy by dt, that is 3t square, divided by dx by dt, that is 4t, which is nothing but 3 by 4t. I am telling you that there will be a question based on this for your examination. Next one we are going for, yes, in order to find minimum and maximum value, what are the steps? First you need to find dy by dx, then you should equate it to 0 and you should find the value of x or the critical points. Then you find d square y by dx square and substitute the x values. And if you are getting d square y by dx square is less than 0, then the function has a maximum at that point. If it is greater than 0, function has a minimum at that point. That is the important thing. First step is what? First, find the derivative with respect to x. Second one, find the value of x by equating it to 0. Then next what we are doing, finding d square y by dx square and substitute the value of x. Then what is the last step? We will check the value of d square y by dx square, where if it is less than 0, the function has a maximum at that value. If it is greater than 0, minimum at that value. If it is equal to 0, the point is called as a saddle point, neither maximum or minimum. Then average cost. How to find average cost? That is nothing but the cost function divided by x. X is what? The unit, right? The number of units produced. Then marginal cost. Marginal cost means what? We will take the derivative of cost function. Then marginal revenue will be what? Derivative of revenue function. Then average revenue will be what? Average cost is cost function divided by x, right? Then average revenue will be what? Revenue function divided by x. Direct question. Then what are we going to do? Demand function is, revenue function can be expressed in terms of demand function, that is nothing but demand function into x. Then people, marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost for what? For profit maximization. Now integration, we have some formulas. Then people, what is the formula for finding a slope of a tangent? You need to take the derivative. Okay, if you take the derivative of this function given or the curve given, if you take the derivative, you will get the slope of that curve, or that you will get the tangent. Okay, now people, integral of e raised to x is what? E raised to x plus c. E raised to x, you can remember this formula, right? 1 by x. You remember what was derivative of log x? Log x is nothing but 1 by x. Then integral of 1 by x will become what? The opposite will become log x, that is written over here. Then derivative of e raised to x was e raised to x itself. So integral of e raised to x will be how much? That will also be e raised to x plus c. Then the basic formula, integral, this one you should know. Integral of x square is how much? You can directly, in x square dx can be how much? That is nothing but x raised to 2 plus 1, that is 3, divided by 2 plus 1, that is 3. That is given over here. Integral of x raised to n dx can be written as x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus c. Okay, then coming to, yes people, what is class width? Coming to our stats part, class width is nothing but class upper limit minus lower limit. We are using it, right? Where are we using it? Yes, Many questions we are using. In median we are using, in mode we are using. Then class mark, where are we using? In order to find mean for continuous group data. So lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Frequency density, one of the most repeated question. Yesterday also I told you that is nothing but class frequency divided by class width, or it can be written as class frequency divided by class. This is class frequency. Okay, class frequency, that is F, divided by class length. Then relative frequency is nothing but class frequency divided by total frequency. Then percentage frequency is nothing but relative frequency into 100 people. Then how to find the, using the range and class length, how to find the number of classes. Number of classes nothing but range divided by class length, one of the repeated question. Then Sir's rule, it was asked one time, they asked directly the formula, how to find number of classes. Which of the formula, using which of the formulas you can find number of classes. What is that? The number of classes is nothing but 1 plus 3.322 log of n. Next one is people, tabulation. Caption is what? The topmost part of the table, then which describes columns and or the subcolumns, and it is called as the column heading. Then box head is nothing but the entire upper part. Then stub is what? The repeated question, the leftmost part of the table, and it is called as row heading, and it describes the row. Then everyone, you know these diagrams and all, right? Now coming to central angle, people, in pie charts, pie graph, okay, we require this. Then what is central angle formula? X divided by sigma x into 360. Next one is histogram. Using histogram, what are you finding? The mode. This point, when we join these 2 points and these 2 points, they will meet at a point, and the corresponding value is called as what? Mode. And people, while solving mode, right, what is in the x-axis? The class boundary is in the x-axis, and the frequency is there in the y-axis. So thank you so much. Thank you. I'm able to read questions well. Should be my strategy. Well and good. If you are able to do that, yes, you can do that perfectly well. So I leak the paper. Hey. Yes, Kevin, it will be added. Now we are almost at the end. Once it is done, right away I'm going to add. Now people, yes. Now what is a total possible samples with the replacement? N is what? N is the population size raised to small letter n. Small letter is n what? That is sample size. People, with the replacement, okay, total number of sample is n raised to n. Without replacement, that is nothing but NCN. People, you can expect a question based on this. If they want to ask a direct formula based question based on sampling, NCN. N is what? Capital N is what? Population size. Small letter n is what? Sample size. So it is used for what? Finding the total number of possible samples. Then standard error is nothing but sigma divided by root n. It was asked multiple times. Standard error is inversely proportional to what? Inversely proportional to sample size. Remember that. Then coming here, yes. So arithmetic mean, midpoint of each value, we know that upper class boundary plus lower class boundary divided by 2. Now people, what is the formula for combined mean? The combined mean is nothing but n1x1 bar plus n2x2 bar divided by n1 plus n2. Then you know the formula for x bar, right? X bar is nothing but what? Sigma x divided by n. Remember that people. Then sum of the deviations from mean is always equal to what? 0. Remember this. Next one. For group data, x bar is equal to what? Sigma x into f divided by n, or sigma fx divided by n, where n is nothing but what? Sigma f. For GM, what is the formula for GM? GM is nothing but x1 into x2 into etc. The entire thing raised to 1 by n. If there are only two terms a and b, then what is GM? GM is nothing but root of ab. Then GM of two variables x, y, product of x, y can be written as GM of x into GM of, one second, GM of y. GM of x divided by y can be written as what? GM of x divided by GM of y. Hello. Kishan, I have forgotten everything, sir. Kishan, you still have time. Revise everything. Don't panic. Go for the exam. It will be fruitful. Okay. Now people, harmonic mean for ungrouped. People, recently many questions are there from harmonic mean. What is harmonic mean? The harmonic mean is nothing but n divided by sigma 1 by x. What if it is for grouped data? You can write it as what? The n divided by sigma frequency divided by corresponding x value. Then combined harmonic mean, multiple times the formulas was directly asked. That is nothing but n1 plus n2 divided by n1 by h1 plus n2 by h2. Then people, what if there are one more set of data is there, n1 plus n2 plus n3 divided by n1 by h1 plus n2 by h2 plus n3 by h3. Then remember this, dm is what? The root of, remember it. Yes, aram say root of I. A is what? Arithmetic mean. H is what? Harmonic mean, people. Next one, the relationship between AM, GM and HM. AM is equal to GM is equal to HM. Then all are positive and equal. When all the terms are positive and equal, then AM, HM and GM are equal. People, if observations are positive and distinct, how will you write that? You remember A, B, C, D, right? Who will come first? A, then B, C, D, E, F, then G will come, then only H will come. That means A is greater than G greater than H when observations are positive and distinct. Now people, we can find median using many formulas. One of the formula is you can use 1 by 2 into n plus 1 value. So similarly for partition also you can go for it. So if it is for quartile and group, it will become I by 4 into n plus 1th value. If it is decile, it will become I by 10 into n plus 1th value. Then if it is for percentile, I by 100 into what? The n plus 1th value. Remember this, it is very important. Then people, you have a formula also for finding mode for continuous group data. Mean for continuous group data. Where is mean for continuous group data? Median for continuous group data here. So it is nothing but lower class boundary plus n by 2 minus cumulative frequency of the previous class divided by frequency into class length. People, what if it is a question based on quartile? Instead of n by 2, it will become in by 4. If it is a question based on decile, it will become in by 10. If it is a question based on percentile, it will become in by 100. The formula looks the same itself. Next one, people. Yes, now look here. Here, for perfectly symmetrical, mean, median and mode are same. For positively skewed, mean is greater than median greater than mode, and for negatively skewed, mode will be greater than median greater than. Then we have one important formula, people. This one question will be there, sure shot. Today you can find a question based on this formula. Mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median, where mo is equal to 3 me. That means mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. They can directly ask the formula, or they will give mean, they will give median. You should substitute and find mode. That is the way. Yes, this is maybe our last live. Yes, do your best, people. Sir, are you fully prepared? I'm fully prepared. Great, Aishwarya. Well and good. Do well. Pujita. Okay, then hey, you're looking hand up. Okay, thank you. Then you guys do well. So whatever you have studied till now is well and good. Prepare well for your examination. You can do it. We already discussed these formulas, right? Then one important thing. Median can be written as what? The second quartile. That is nothing but Q1 plus Q3 divided by 2. Remember this. It will be useful later. Next one, people. Mean deviation. We are coming to range. One of the repeated question. Range is what? The largest minus smallest. Okay, largest minus smallest is what? Range. Coefficient of range is what? The largest minus smallest divided by largest plus smallest into 100. Then mean deviation is nothing but what? For ungrouped data, you can write mean deviation as what? So mean deviation for ungrouped data is nothing but sigma modulus of x minus x bar divided by n. For group data, what? It will be sigma f into x minus modulus of x, f into x minus x bar will be the case. If it is about median, it will be sigma f into x minus m divided by n. Then coefficient of mean deviation is very easy. About mean, it will be what? Mean deviation about mean divided by mean. Mean deviation, coefficient of mean deviation about median is what? Mean deviation about median divided by median. Then we have the formula for standard deviation. Two formulas are there. Whenever we want to find the value of x bar, we will use the second formula. Otherwise, we will always use the first formula. What is the formula? More root of sigma x minus x bar the whole square divided by n. If it is grouped, f term will also come into the picture. Sigma f into x minus x bar the whole square divided by n. Then people coming to combined standard deviation, this formula, there might be a question, but very rare. So one question you think will be mandatory? Yes, there will be a question no matter what, based on mo is equal to 3 me. Mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus median. Then there will be question based on future value. There will be a question based on present value. One effective rate of interest question will be there no matter what. That will be that and all pakka, it will be there. Then people, standard deviation of first n natural number is nothing but root of n square minus 1 divided by 12. Then quartile deviation formula is what? QD is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Q3 minus Q1 is nothing but interquartile range. Q3 minus Q1 is interquartile range, and Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2 or quartile deviation is also called as what? Semi-interquartile range. Coefficient of quartile deviation is very easy. That is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1, or you can write it as QD divided by M. If you want, you can multiply it with 100 and you can write. What is the formula for coefficient of variation? The standard deviation divided by arithmetic mean into 100. Next question, one of the important formula. 2SD is equal to 2.5 MD is equal to how many QTs are there? 3 QTs are there. So 2SD is equal to 2.5. MD is equal to 3 QT. Not that SD is greater than MD greater than QD for what? Normal and symmetrical distribution. Then probability coming to that, people. P of A is nothing but number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes, people. Then maximum value of probability will be 1. Minimum value will be what? 0. If it is 0, it is called as impossible or improbable event. If it is equal to 1, it is a sure event. If it is between 0 and 1, it is called as possible or probable event. Then people, P of A plus P of A complement is equal to how much? 1. So that theory marathon is enough for theory question. If you have completed it, you can read more question. If you have not completed, finish that first and read the other questions. Okay. Yes. Example for CAGR. Yes, I'll do it towards the end. How to calculate GM on calculator. It's very easy. For example, 2, 3, 4 are there. Take the product of 2 into 3 into 4 on calculator. Then click root 12 times. Then minus 1. Then multiply it with the power. Power will be how much? 1 by 3. Then plus 1 into equal to how many times? 12 times. Or you will do what? You will take the product of this. This is how much? 2 into 3 into 4 is how much? That is nothing but 16. And you will option hit by taking the cube of it. Since 3 terms are there, cube of the option. Whichever cube of the option is giving you the answer, that's your answer. Got it? That's your option. Next one. Then general rule for tossing a coin, total number of sample space will be what? 2 raised to n. Then people, if the probability of getting head and tail alternatively by tossing a coin for n time is nothing but 2 divided by 2 raised to n. Do you remember anywhere else we use the formula 2 raised to n? The number of ways of answering n questions in 2 ways, yes or no, 2 raised to n. Then the number of subset is what? 2 raised to n. Then what is the number of ways of answering at least one question? 2 raised to n minus 1. What is the number of questions or the number of subset, proper subset? What was the formula? 2 raised to n minus 1. Next one, people, dice the total sample space is 6 raised to n. Then n of s is nothing but what? 52. Now we know that which are the face cards. The king, queen and jack are face cards. How many face cards are there in total? 12 face cards. And in total, how many cards are there? 52 cards are there. Then people, we have the formula, that is our addition formula, basic formula. Probability of A union B or P of A union B is nothing but P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. For independent event, P of A intersection B can be written as what? P of A into what? P of B. For mutually exclusive event, P of A intersection B will always be equal to what? 0. For exhaustive events, P of A union will be B will be always be equal to what? 1. So mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, always 1 is equal to P of A plus P of B. That means the sum of the probability should be equal to how much? 1. Next one, conditional probability P of A given B can be written as P of A intersection B divided by P of B. Then what is P of B given A? That is nothing but P of A intersection B divided by P of A. Then this is the for independent here. Then now leap year means how many days are there in total? 365 days. So when I divide this 365 divided by 7, how many will come? 51 will be there on top and 52 will be there on top and 364. Remainder 1 day can be there, right? So any of that remaining 1 day can be either be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday till Saturday, any of the 1 day. So the total sample space is how much? 7. So the question will be like this: number of find the probability of getting 53 Sundays in a non-leap year. That will be the question. So how will you say now? How many Sundays are there? Only one Sunday divided by 7. What is the probability of getting 53 Sundays or 53 Mondays in non-leap year? 1 by 7 plus 1 by 7. You will get the answer. Now coming to leap year, how many days are there in total? 366 days. That can be how many remaining days will be there? 2 remaining days will be there. Either that can be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. Total sample space is how much? 7. The question will be like, what is the probability of getting 53 Sundays in a non-leap year? That is nothing but 1 plus 1, that is 2 divided by 7. What is the probability of getting 53 Mondays in a non-leap year? Sorry, in a leap year, not non-leap year, in a leap year. That is 2 by 7. Then another question can be there. What is the probability of getting 53 Sundays or 53 Mondays? So how will you write up? 2 by 7 is for Sunday plus 2 by 7 is for Monday. But Sunday, Monday is already there, right? We need to reduce that. 1 by 7. Answer will be how much? 3 by 7. Next question. Yes, expectation. Expectation is also called as what? The mean. Mathematical expectation is nothing but sigma x into P of x. Then variance of x, there is a formula. V of x is nothing but E of x square minus E of x the whole square, people. Now another important thing, they can ask for expectation of a constant value. Expectation of 5 is how much? Can I expect 10 from 5? No, expectation of 5 will always be what? 5. Then expectation of x plus 5, x plus y can be written as what? The expectation of x plus expectation of y. Similarly, the product also can be written as expectation of x into y is nothing but expectation of x into expectation of y. Then coming to the important part, this is important. So a question can be there, expectation of 5 plus 4x. How will you find the expectation of 5 is how much? 5 plus 4 into expectation of x. Remember this. Then odds in favor. People, when we are saying that odds in favor of an event A is to B. Odds in favor means probability of occurrence of A will be what? A divided by A plus B. Probability of non-occurrence will be what? B divided by A plus B. Then odds against means we will take the second value and write in the numerator divided by A plus B. Now look here, odds against an event A is to B. That means odds in favor will be what? B by A plus B. Odds against will be what? A by A plus B. Remember these things. Now coming to the 16th chapter, that is binomial distribution, people. Now, so that is theoretical distribution, people. There is binomial distribution and it is based on Bernoulli's trial. And people, one of the most important thing, the number of trials is a parameter. Similarly, probability of success in a single trial is a parameter. So binomial distribution is what? It is biparametric. Remember that binomial distribution is what? Biparametric. And what is the formula for probability mass function? NCX into P raised to X into Q raised to N minus X, where Q is what? 1 minus P, or it is called as probability of failure in a single trial, where X is the number of trials, number of successes, N is the total number of trials, people. Remember this. Next one, for mean? What is the formula for mean in terms of binomial distribution? NP. What is the formula for variance? NPQ. Then people, one important thing, standard deviation will be what? The root of NPQ. Variance is, we already told, NPQ. Then mode. It is very important. Okay, mode is nothing but, you can expect a question based on this. Mode is nothing but n plus 1 into p. We will find using n plus 1 into p. Formula will be used. This formula will be used. For example, you are getting, so look here, the n plus 1 into p, you are getting like 4.5 as the answer. Okay, but there will be an option called as 4.5 also there. But will you choose 4.5? No, the answer will be what? The integer part. So mode will be how much? The mode will be 4. So n plus 1 into p is the formula. And if it is a decimal value is coming, only take the integer value. But what if n plus 1 into p is equal to 5? Then will you write 5 is the mode? No, 5 comma 4 is the mode. Remember this, 5 and the previous number. What if it is 3.6? What will be the mode? 3 will be the mode. What is the mode when you are getting n plus 1 into p is equal to 7? Mode will be 7 comma 6. Remember that. Then symmetry will be p. When p is equal to q is equal to 0.5, it will be symmetric. P is less than 0.5 means it is positively skewed. Greater than 0.5, it is negatively skewed. Remember that, people. Then Poisson distribution, it is a uniparametric, right? Uniparametric. Okay, remember that. Mean is there, variance is there, everything is that parameter, which is m. Standard deviation is what? The root m. Then coming to the formula, very important, e raised to minus m into m raised to x divided by x factorial, where m is the parameter, x is the number of times you are finding it. Okay, then e value everyone knows, right? E is nothing but 2.72 or 2.718, something you are getting. Anyway, it will be given in the question, or you will remember it this way. Then people, normal distribution, we are having a formula. You can write it as 1 divided by sigma root 2 pi e raised to minus x minus mu divided by, 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu divided by sigma, the whole square. People, how many parameters are there in normal distribution? There are 2 parameters. Remember that. This is a normal curve. Now from normal curve, I'll give you the most important part. So the area between mu minus 3 sigma and mu plus 3 sigma is how much? 99.73%. Then area between mu minus 2 sigma and mu plus 2 sigma is how much? 95.46%. In between mu minus sigma and mu plus sigma is how much? That is 68.28%. Remember this, people. Yes. Hello. Complete labels, how much you have? Okay. Continuously held. Last 30 minutes, if you have live in the last 30 minutes, last 30 minutes. Try to do it page wise itself. That will always be better. That is the best thing. Yes. Okay. Now, people, look at this. For standard normal distribution, anyway, we discussed in the marathon also multiple times. I talked about it. Now, area, look here. In between, x value is between a and k. You can write it as a phi up to what? You will write it as x a minus mu divided by sigma minus phi, or area up to b minus mu divided by sigma. You can get the answer. Then phi of minus k, whenever it is minus k, you will write it as 1 minus phi of k. That way you can write. Then people, one of the most important thing I will just give you right now. So look here. The third central moment represent what? Skewness. Skewness means what? Asymmetry. People, is normal distribution symmetric or asymmetric? It is symmetric. So for normal distribution, the third central moment will be what? 0. Remember this. Very important. Then we are coming to kurtosis and all. It's not much important, people. Now correlation coefficient R, it is always in between -1 and +1. Both the values are included. If it is positive, +1, it is perfect positive. If it is 0, no correlation. If it is -1, it is called as perfect negative correlation, then Gauss-Pearson coefficient of correlation, covariance of xy divided by standard deviation of x into standard deviation of y, then Spearman's rank correlation. This formula is very important. There can be a question. So 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n cube minus n people, then coefficient of concurrent deviation is plus or minus root of 2c minus m divided by m. Now coming to coefficient of determination. Coefficient of determination is r square. Coefficient of non-determination is 1 minus r square. Repeated question. Then correlation coefficient can be used, find using our dark regression coefficients. That is nothing but plus or minus root of regression coefficient of x on y into regression coefficient of y on x. Remember these things, people. Then if one of the regression coefficient is more than 1, the other should be less than 1. Then first one from the last chapter, symbol aggregative price index, people. That is nothing but SAPI sigma P1 divided by sigma P0 into 100. Then we have symbol relative price index, sigma P1 by P0 divided by n into 100. What is this Pn? The Pn is nothing but price in the current year. Then P0 is what? The price in the base year. Then coming to Lappe index number. In Lappe, what are we taking it as the base? The what is the base? Base year quantity is the base in Lappe index. We have the formula Pico by Poco into 100, sigma P1 Q0 divided by sigma P0 Q0 into 100, where Q0 is the base year quantity and it is the weight. In Lappe index, Pache index number, what are we taking the base? That is the current year quantity. That is the formula for Pache will become what? The sigma Picky by Pocky, that is sigma P1 Q1 divided by sigma P0 Q1 into 100. Next one, Bowle index number, people. Bowle index number is nothing but arithmetic mean of Lappe and Pache. Then Fisher's index number, it is nothing but after F, what is there? The G is there. So it is geometric mean of Lappe and Pache. And finally, Marshall index number is nothing but sigma P1 into Q0 plus Q1 divided by sigma P0 into Q0 plus Q1 into 100. Then CPI formula is nothing but sigma IW divided by W, where I is the group index and W is the weight. Then people, deflated value is nothing but current price divided by current CPI. They can directly ask you the formula. Okay. Then shifter price index is original price index divided by price index of the year to which we have to shift into 100. Then previous year May attempt question. CIN formula is what? The link relative of current year, CIN of the previous year divided by 100. Then purchasing power of money is inversely proportional to what? The price index number. And the final page, we are already there. Real wages is nothing but current year wages divided by current year CPI into base year CPI. Current year salary is nothing but base year salary into current year CPI divided by base year CPI. Then most important part, dearness allowance is nothing but current year salary minus base year salary, people. Then how many tests of adequacies are there? The 4 tests of adequacies are there. One is unit test, time reversal test, factor reversal test, circular test. People, Fisher does not satisfy which test? Fisher does not satisfy circular test. Who is called as the ideal index number? Fisher is the ideal index number and he does not satisfy what? Circular test, people. With that, we are winding up our formula marathon, people. Do well for your examination, people. You have prepared enough. Be confident on your preparation. Don't think about what is going to happen next. Think about the moment and do well in your examination. Make sure that you drink water well, then eat good food and go for the examination hall. Make sure that you are there like around 30 minutes early itself. Don't panic in the last moment. Make sure that you are in your full charge to clear this examination and make Jan 2026 your attempt to clear off this time itself, people. Yes. Thank you so much, people. Thank you. All the best, everyone. Do well. I believe in you. Just like Shivadarshini, believe in yourself. Okay. Thank you, Janice. Thank you. All the best. Do well, people. Do well. Do well. Do well. Do well. Yes. We have done enough. More than enough. Do well. All the best, everyone. All the best. All the best. Do well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you say Ogive? Oh, it is Ogive. What way you want to say Ogive? Ogive or Ogive or Ogai, whatever way you can say. Okay. Yes. So CAGR example. Okay, I'll give you one example on CAGR. So profit is there. Profit. Then years are given. 2001, 2002, 2003, etc., etc., etc. is there. Profit is 100, then 200, then 300, then 2004 also I am adding, then let it be 400. Then people, what is it now? 1 plus CAGR, the whole power, Tn minus T0 is equal to Vn by V0. The question is like, find the CAGR with respect to year 2004 and 2001. So Tn minus T0 will be how much? That is nothing but 2004 minus 2001, which is nothing but 3 years. So Tn minus T0 is 3. So 1 plus, I will write option. Okay, option raised to 3, which is equal to Vn value will be how much? 400 divided by 100. That means which is equal to 4. That means RHS is 4, and people using option, one option you will substitute. For example, first option is 10%. 1 plus 10%, the whole power 3 you will check. Whichever option is giving you 4 as the right answer, that means that option is your answer. Bye bye, take care. Yes, bye, we can meet in India. Great, we can do that. Yes. Kadir, can you tell sir? Yeah, I'll only take in foundation level. Yes. Anyway, I'll be there in ArivuPro. You can meet me there. Yes. Fine. Do well, people. The PDF coming right now after just this marathon get over. I'll be adding it. Okay. Yes. Right. Power in decimal, how to calculate? Yes, one by one I'll take the power in decimal, how to calculate. For example, 3 raised to 0.5. 0.4 is there. Let it be 0.4. How to calculate this stuff? Type 3 on your calculator. Click root. How many times? 12 times. Then minus 1 multiplied with 0.4 plus 1. Then into equal to etc. How many times into equal to you will click that? 12 times you will click. Okay. Yes. Next one. Ogi. Yes. Karaikal. Oh yes. Hello. Yeah, do well, it will be fine, it will be well and good. Push yourself, it will be possible to clear the exam. It will be much easy. Anti-log formula, we will not be using anti-log formula. Anti-log formula in the sense, I will be just showing you one thing. 4 is equal to log of x to the base 5. We need to find the value of x. X is what? X is nothing but 5 raised to whatever is there on the other side. That means 5 raised to 4 is the answer. Okay, yes. I am an engineer, that's why I'm teaching max. That's why I'll not be there in India. I'll only be teaching you max. Okay. Okay, sir. Bye. We can meet. Bye. Yes. Bye. Yes, I have a doubt. Tell me, Yeshwant, I'm not a CA, I'm an engineer. Yes. I'm a chemical engineer. Bye. Yes, tell me the doubt, then only I can see the doubt, right? Put the doubt in the comment box. Somebody asked another doubt also, I missed it, I guess. Yes, people, then do well. I think no other doubts are there. If any doubts are there, you comment it down. I'll reply to that. Bye. And if any doubt is there in any of the chapter, right now you are having, go back to the marathon, just refer there. It will be more than fine. You will be able to solve it. Thank you so much, Sindhu. Everyone, bye. Take care. Yes, Janice, you can clear it down. Believe in yourself. Okay. Yes, bye. Yes, Jitendra, Nanu chala dangerous. Log formula, which one is having doubt? Either permutation. How to ask whether the question is based on permutation or combination. So people, whenever it is based on arrangement, it is a question based on permutation. Whenever it is based on selection, it is a question based on combination. Okay. Yes. Yes, Jitendra. which one? GT factor. How to find GT factor? If R is equal to 10 percentage, N is equal to I, how will you find PV using GT method? N is equal to 5. How will you find PV using GT method? Type 1.1 because I value is how much? 0.1. That means 1.1 on your calculator, divide, then N is equal to how much? That means equal to how many times? 5 times. Then click GT button, then multiply it with the annuity value. If A is equal to 1000, multiply it with 1000, you will get the answer. Yes. Yes, Milaj, you can do it. Well and good. I'll attach this PDF in the this thing. You can use that also. Okay then, people. Bye bye. Take care.